Okay, boys and girls, to get to piskelapp.com, you have to go on your Chromebook and you're going to type in piskelapp.com and it will bring up this website. This is a digital art program, and what it is basically an animation program. So it's a program that you can make moving videos. We are actually not going to make a full video. We're just going to make one picture, and the reason why is because we need to make a pixel version of ourselves that we're going to print so that we can paint it later. So when you get to piskelapp.com, you're going to click sign in. It's very important that you sign in. You're going to use your Google account. It's the same as the account that you used for the Chromebooks. And you have to sign in so that you can save your work. So when you sign in, you'll have a little profile that you can create. And you can see here that I have a couple self-portraits that I've started. To create a new one, you're going to click Create Sprite. So when you get into the program here, I want to show you a couple of the tools that you can use. This gray area, this big box, is where you will create this self-portrait. You can zoom in and out by moving your fingers on the mouse pad in and then out, and that will go and zoom your gray area in and out. To start to add one little box of color down, this is called a pixel. One little box is one pixel. So you can go to the pen tool here, and that will create one pixel box. If you want to make the pixel size bigger, you can go to the pen size right here, and you can make many pixels all together to make more than one pixel, a bigger size of a pixel. Coming down here is the paint bucket tool. If you click on the paint bucket tool and you drop down a color, it will change the entire gray area to one color. If you go to the color picker tool down here and I click black, I can actually change my color to any of these different colors. There's a whole gradient of colors here. If I move my circle towards the black area, it will make a darker version of my color or a lighter version of my color if I go towards the white area. So if I unclick that and I use Paint Bucket again, it will change the color to a different color. The eraser tool is down below. This will allow you to erase certain areas that you don't like. The rectangle tool and the circle tool will allow you to just make one whole shape altogether as a rectangle or as a circle. Now keep in mind, this is a pixel circle, so it's not going to be completely round. It's made up of little tiny squares, so it's going to be more of a geometric type of version of a circle. Let's see, the color picker tool will allow me to take a color that I've already used and click on it, and it will bring that color back up into the menu here. A selection tool. So the selection tool here, the rectangle and the lasso selection tool, what this allows me to do is select a whole area to copy. So if I wanted to select the circle and I wanted to copy it again, I can drag around the circle, and then on my mouse pad I have to click Command or Control plus C. So I've copied it here. Now I can move this over to a different spot, and then when I want to paste it, I click Command or Control V, and that will paste the exact same thing to a different spot in my picture. Same thing for the lasso. This just allows me to select a different type of area instead of just a rectangle. Okay, there's a couple other tools here that you may or may not use. This is a stroke tool, or it allows you to just create one whole line of pixels all together, and it will keep the pixels together in one line. We probably won't use the rest of these tools over here to create our portraits. These are mostly for different types of animation projects, so we probably won't use those, and we probably won't use these. The tools on the side here, these are the menu tools that allow you to save your work and print your work and stuff like that. So we'll talk about these tools later here. One other thing I want to show you here, there's a little button that says 1, 6, and full. If you click 1, it will show your preview of your portrait really small. If you click full size, it will show it bigger. So you want to be on full size so you can see the preview really large. Okay, so if we go back to my gallery here, we can see that I've created a couple self-portraits here. So we can look very closely at my portrait here. See how I'm using mostly rectangles and squares for my eyes and my head and my neck, and I'm using tiny little pixels for other little details. So you have to think about this version of yourself as more of like a geometric version of yourself. It's not going to be super rounded. It's going to be a little bit more boxy and square, like the pixel style. So we're going to start to create our portraits now if you're done with your mural. So again, click Create Sprite, and then you can start to experiment with how you want to put the lines and shapes together to create your portrait. I also added a background too, so something neat that you can experiment with is what details or colors do you want to put in your background or even on your shirt. You can add details on your hair, so be creative with what you want to look like.